Motown was definitely the flavor of the day. You had November wholesale numbers trickling in yesterday, and today quite sharply we saw several of these heavyweight OEM stocks that were gaining big time in trade. You had the likes of Bajaj Auto, which was also the top gainer of the Nifty Auto Index, shutting shop with a gain of more than 2.5%, and even Mahindra and Mahindra was up almost 2.5% in trade. The likes of Tata Motors, Maruti, Ashok Leyland, Hero MotoCorp, all of them were firmly in the green, providing a fair amount of fillip to the overall mood of the markets, especially the entire auto basket. Why that is? Well, a lot of brokerages reactions came in this morning. They were trying to decipher what the performance was like for the month gone by as far as wholesale auto numbers are concerned. Let me read out a few of them to you quite quickly then. You had UBS talking about low inventory levels, which could support the growth outlook going forward. They said wholesale volume growth for companies like Maruti, for Eicher have been impacted because of tight production capacity and lower number of working days. But overall, the numbers have been in line with estimates. There have been no negative surprises, and the analysts at UBS continue to remain constructive on the auto space. They expected to clock in a 10% plus CAGR over the next few years, over the medium term for two-wheelers as well as cars, driven by rising share of replacement demand. They also expect a strong recovery in trucks, DFC ramp-up notwithstanding. Hero and Ashok Leyland remain their top picks. Next up, let's talk about what the analysts at JP Morgan said. November wholesale prints were noisy. They reflected the festive demand, base effects, production side constraints, all of that combined together. Tractors were definitely a standout again, with 30 to 50% plus percent YOY growth coming in on steady retail demand, lean channel check and low base, of course. PVs was also witnessing another good month. You had two-wheelers where TVS and Hero fared very well. Exports has aided Bajaj's print. Production miss was at Eicher. They could have perhaps sold more had there not been production-related constraints. So yeah, largely they remain quite optimistic about the prospects of the auto space. And finally, you have CLSA, wherein the analyst said that the volume recovery continues, but yes, it's definitely lower than the peak that we saw in the month gone by, which is October 2020. So after a bumper month of sales in October 2020, comparatively it's a tad bit low, but definitely there is good revival and recovery that's reflecting in the sales numbers. Two-wheelers definitely have outperformed. PVs and CVs also continue to improve sequentially. But given the entire scenario and the trajectory that the different segments of the automotive space are showing, they continue to be a tad bit skewed towards commercial vehicle space, especially Tata Motors continues to be their preferred pick. So overall, brokerages have also sounded off a fair amount of optimism as far as Motown recovery goes and the medium to long-term outlook goes. Definitely inventory refilling is something to watch out for over the next few months, because that's something that will lead the wholesale volumes, at least in the near to medium term.